This was a piece of mermaid flesh said to grant immortality. 3 fishermen, driven by curiosity, tasted it, but the very next moment, one of them transformed into a horrifying creature and died on the spot. By the next day, another man suffered ruptured veins and died from poisoning. The only survivor was George. After witnessing the tragic deaths of his companions, George hid under a straw mat in terror. Strangely, he showed no abnormal symptoms at all. Instead, his body seemed healthier and stronger than before. Gradually, he forgot about the mermaid flesh entirely. More than 50 years passed, yet George's appearance remained exactly the same as when he was young. Meanwhile, his wife aged like any ordinary human. One by one, his loved ones passed away before his eyes. The endless loss filled George with unbearable pain. After his wife died, he set out alone on a journey to find the mermaid, hoping to break the curse. Legend said that only the true mermaid could reveal how to undo immortality. George searched for 2.5 years without success. One day, he accidentally heard rumors about a mermaid village. Following the clues, he finally arrived at a strange settlement. There were no men in the village, only a group of identical-looking elderly women. When they learned that George had come alone, they immediately stabbed him with harpoons and killed him together. Afterwards, they threw his body into a cave, hoping the monster inside would devour him completely. The reason these old women killed innocent outsiders dated back 15 years earlier. Back then, they had brought a girl named Annie from the outside world. They provided her with the best food and shelter, but kept her locked inside the house at all times. On the surface, they treated Annie like a princess. In truth, they planned to use her to achieve eternal life. Now that Annie had finally grown into an adult, they gathered the villagers and began their ritual. The leader chose the youngest, most beautiful woman, the one who had lived the longest among them. That night, they brought her to a mermaid cave to perform the ceremony. The woman obeyed their command, removed her clothes, and willingly stepped into the deep pool. A dreadful scream echoed through the cave. The old women rushed forward and killed the mermaid. To their shock, the sacrificed woman herself was a mermaid. The leader cut a piece of flesh from her tail. Later, they cooked it into a dish and tricked Annie into eating it. At the same time, George awakened inside the mermaid cave where his body had been thrown. Beside him lay the corpse of the slain mermaid. He guessed that the same old women who had attacked him were responsible for this murder. Seeking the truth, George carried the mermaid's body back to the village and confronted the old women. They gave him no chance to speak. Seeing that he was still alive, they launched an even more violent attack. In desperation, George rushed to the bed and grabbed Annie, using her as a hostage. He planned to escape with her, but when he lifted the blanket, he saw that her feet were bound tightly with iron chains. To take her with him, George removed his belt and tied Annie to his back. Then he fled with all his strength. The old women chased them relentlessly, throwing harpoons without caring whether Annie would be hurt. Eventually, George and Annie hid inside a cave. When George tried to treat Annie's wounds, he was shocked to see them heal automatically. He realized that Annie must have eaten mermaid flesh as well. Annie then told him she had lived in the village for 15 years, and this was the first time she had ever stepped outside to see the world. While they were talking, a terrifying roar echoed from deep within the cave. An ugly monster crawled out toward them. The creature charged at them. George hurled a harpoon and struck its abdomen precisely, but even that failed to kill it. He quickly carried Annie on his back and escaped toward the cave entrance. For the moment, they avoided danger. Suddenly, George remembered something. The monster in the cave looked exactly like the creature his friend had turned into after eating mermaid flesh long ago. To confirm the truth, George decided to return to the village and uncover what was really happening.